Half a day. I'm Scarlett, and this is Feral Savage. I had the pleasure of inquiring with biologists on the Acropora millepora coral species that lives on the reef systems of Guam. Did you know coral is an animal? Acropora millepora is a small colonial coral that grows in clumps. The short branches are cylindrical. The radical corallites are all the same size and have projecting lower rims, giving them a scale-like appearance. The color is variable and may be green with orange-tipped branches or pale pink, orange, plain green, and even blue. They are commonly found in the western and central Indo-Pacific, extending from the Red Sea, Kenya, and South Africa to India, Malaysia, and Japan, Indonesia, and even Australia. This coral grows on shallow water between 2 and 12 meters, 6 and 40 feet deep, mostly on reef flats, but it's also on upper reef slopes and in lagoons. They usually prefer high light, low nutrients, and high water quality with good flow. With coral being an animal, they consume food in a unique way. Corals get their energy both from feeding and photosynthesis. They'll feed on plankton from the water columns using their polyps, which are basically like little mouths with tentacles to catch food. They also have a symbiotic algae that lives in their tissue and allows them to get energy from the sun. A weird, gross fact about the animal would be that they smell really bad out of the water, especially the Acropora species. It could be described as fish with a slightly rotten egg smell, and it will worsen when stressed. To protect against predators, the reef fish called the orange-spotted filefish or harlequin filefish takes on the scent of Acropora by eating the corals to disguise themselves. Encountering coral, they should be handled directly and with great care to not touch or step on them. Coral reefs play a vital role in marine ecosystems, serving as biodiversity hotspots, providing habitat, food, and nursery areas for a vast array of species. Local Guam favorites like the blue spine unicornfish, parrotfish, and octopus all make the reef their home and wouldn't be here without it, acting as natural barriers against erosions and storms. Have you ever wondered why the waves crash so far away from the shore on some parts of the island? It is because of our coral reefs. Coral reefs absorb the power of these waves, reducing them to barely a ripple by the time they reach the shore. This prevents erosion and protects homes and businesses along the coast. A healthy coral reef can eliminate up to 97% of wave energy, protecting coastlines and preventing flooding. They support an estimated 25% of all marine life, even though they make up less than 1% of the ocean floor. Guam's coastal waters host approximately 42 square miles of shallow coral reefs, with 43 square miles of deeper coral reefs. That's at least 3 nautical miles offshore. They could be susceptible to disease, which usually spread through direct contact between corals, in the water column and through sediment, and by the fish that eat them. Did you know that overfishing is the leading cause to reef decline worldwide? They are essential to the reef, and each species plays a unique role. Overfishing and harmful fishing techniques deplete fish populations and upset the balance of predator and prey. The main threat affecting Acropora millepora is the destruction of coral reefs where it lives. Although relatively common, it is a shallow water species and susceptible to bleaching and coral diseases. It is also collected for reef aquarium trade. Coral bleaching happens due to stress on the animal. When an increase in ocean temperature occurs, runoff and pollution, overexposure to sunlight, and extreme low tides cause them to be exposed to air. When the coral is stressed and the algae that provides them with food gets expelled from their skin, Guam experienced their worst bleaching from 2013 to 2017, where it resulted in the loss of approximately 1/3 of all coral and shallow reefs. Slightly more than half of Guam's reefs have started recovering, but still have not recovered to their pre-bleaching state. Pollution can destroy habitats, poison coral, increase the risk of disease, and choke marine species. The source can be close to the ocean, like beach litter, boat sewage leaks, and oil spills. Pollution also comes from land-based sources like fertilizers, sediment, and stormwater runoff. Corals in general are expected to be impacted by the rising sea temperatures and ocean acidification. Corals in general are expected to be impacted by the rising temperatures and ocean acidification. For these reasons, the IUCN has listed Acropora millepora as being near threatened, with its sister species Acropora globicipes listed as threatened. It is vital and important that tourists and locals alike are educated on helpful and hurtful habits when enjoying the coral reefs. What not to do on the reef. Standing on the corals to break while snorkeling. Feeding fish. Riding jet skis and boats on shallow coral reefs. Taking shells home from the beach. Wearing sunblock that isn't reef safe and leaches toxic chemicals into the water. Without our coral reefs like Acropora millepora and Acropora globicipes, we will lose more than Nemo in our oceans. Coral reefs are important to our economy, providing jobs in tourism, fisheries, and biology. I want to thank you for taking the time to listen today. It really means a lot. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing's going to get better. It's not. Dr. Seuss, The Lorax. Big shout out to Natalie Scott for the amazing info on these crazy animals. Remedy Rule with her passion in connecting me with incredible experts. Dr. Paige Strudwick for her research on coral growths. And Brent Tibbatts for accurate information and scientific names. For more information on how to help and where to donate, please reach out to Guam Coral Reef Initiative. I'll leave a link in the description along with all the materials used during this video. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on the new animals and the interesting facts about them. Thank you.